na sa previous donation, meron pa sa mga na hindi pa na-release sa Bureau of Customs. So we're trying to have this release kasi yung iba pinto ng mga bahay, masisira na sila. So we have to cut the red tape. Sabi nga ni President Duterte, maagap na serbisyo, and we're trying to do that.
Okay, si Chairman Domingo naman po mula sa PAGCOR. Give us an update po or a situation or gaano kalaki po ba ang income ng PAGCOR na ina-expect natin taon-taon?
This year, ang target natin is 50 billion pesos. Next year, we're targeting 52 billion pesos.
Ito pong kinikita ng pamahalaan mula sa PAGCOR. Ito po yung mga gambling and iba-iba po. Saan po ito na-i-allocate?
Sa pagtulong sa mahihirap. At bilang Secretary ng Department of Social Welfare and Development at malasakit
sa drugs ngayon talaga na halos parang wala na yata lumalabas or
labas. So, wala ko in-expect na problema.
Kinausap po ba yung mga militante sa labas? Sir, anong sinabi niyo?
Pinuntahan ko sila.
Anong tugon nila?
Nagpasalamat sila, pinagbigyan natin kasi sabi nila, daw, gusto lang lumapit dito dito mismo sa building. Pinalapit namin, pinagbigyan namin.
So, asahan natin yung anti-drug, anti-criminal criminality campaign ng ating Pangulo. Sir, paano natin paiigtingin palalo within 3 to 6 months? Now, without prejudice, human rights violation and everything.
Huwag mo natin isipin yung mga violation na yan. Importante, magampan na no let up.
Merong coordination with LGUs and Armed Forces of the Philippines sa lahat ng mga stakeholders, sir, dito sa kampanya natin.
Yes, bukan ito, whole of government approach na ito. Hindi ito po pwedeng PNP lang pabayaan nila. Lalo-lalo na yung local government units, dapat sila tumulong sa amin dahil talagang kinakailangan namin sila. Dapat hindi nila pabayaan yung kanilang mga pulis sa kanilang mga lugar. So dapat sabay-sabay ito lahat, whole of government approach.
More big fishes to come?
Marami pang mga
Malalaking isda?
Chinese drug lords dyan na mamamatay. Marami yan, marami pa.
Basta lumaban. Kapag lumalaban.
Kailangan lumaban sila.
Okay.
Kailangan lumaban sila. Mamamatay talaga sila pag lumaban sila.
Mensahe na lang po sa pangkalahatan sa mga nanonood sa atin sa bayan ng Pilipino po.
Sa lahat po ng kababayan natin, sana po isuportahan ninyo ang inyong Philippine National Police sa aming kampanya sa aming all-out war against drugs, criminality and corruption. Sana po ay tulungan nyo kami. We really need you very badly. Kailangan po namin kayo. Sana magtutulungan tayo.
Maraming salamat, PNP Chief. Daghang salamat, sir. Ngayong hapon, PNP Chief General Bato de la Rosa. Well, inaasahang aabot nga sa 3,000 katao ang dumalo ngayon dito sa kauna-unang State of the Nation Address ni Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. At inaasahan nga natin darating din si Presidential Daughter at ang kasalukuyang mayor ng Davao City na si Sara Duterte Carpio na dati nagsabing hindi siya makakadalo but we are expecting na siya ay makakadating pero hindi naman makakarating dito ang presidential sons na sila Paulo at Sebastian Duterte. Ang pinakauling State of the Nation Address o SONA ni Pangulong Duterte, siya ring hudyat, mga kaibigan, sa pagsisimula ng ika-17 sesyon ng Kongreso. Kanina ay naiproklama bagong Speaker of the House, si Davao del Norte 1st District Representative Pantaleon Alvarez. Siya mismo ay pinili ni outgoing Speaker of the House. Nominated siya ni outgoing Speaker of the House at Quezon City 4th District Representative Feliciano Belmonte Jr. At naiproklama din bilang bagong Senate President si Senator Coco Pimentel. Si Senator Franklin Dilo naman ay naihalal bilang Senate President Pro Tempore. Para sa ating kalaman, ang Senate President Pro Tempore ang second highest official sa Senado, 285, 285 mula sa 200 at 72 mga mapabatas dumalo sa pagbubukas ng unang sesyon ng 17th Congress. Sa 17th Congress naman, makikita ang ilan sa mga re-electionists at mga baguhang kongresista noong nakarang buwan bago nagsimula ang sesyon ng Kongreso. Sumailalim mga bagong upong kongresista sa executive course in legislation. Napaka-importante po yan kapag ikaw ay lalo na sa mga bagong halal na mga kongresista at mga senador. Ito ay inorganisa ng House of Representatives Institute for Legislation and Legislative Governance. Ito ay sa pagkikipagtulungan din ng University of the Philippines, UP National College of Public Administration and Governance. 150 mga baguang kongresista ang sumabak sa 4 na araw na crash course. Sila ay hinati sa 3 batches mula June 20 hanggang July 4. Ang mga dumalo ay tinuruan ng mga konsepto at kung ano ang mga malagang gawin. Ngayon parte na sila ng Kongreso. Kabilang na rito ang legislative process, how to write bills, importante po yan, and crafting budgets. Nagsagawa rin sila ng mock session upang ipakita sa mga dumalong kongresista mga nangyayari sa isang regular session sa loob ng plenary hall. Ilan sa mga bagong mukhang nakita natin dito kanina, Cathy and Bong, mga kababayan, sa pagsisimula ng Congress ay sina Batangas 6th District Representative Vilma Santos Recto at marami pa. Samantala, balikan muna natin Cathy and Bong sa studio.
Okay, maraming salamat Aljo Bendijo. Lumabas na po mula sa PLLO, ang Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Ngayon
As scheduled, no?
Oo, 4 minutes before 4, alas 4 nga, no, inaasahan nga natin na magsisimula na at kanyang i-deliver ang kanyang speech. At hindi gaya nung mga nakaraang SONA ay walang receiving o reception committee, wala yung mga kasama
Yes.
na naglalakad ng Pangulo, kundi siya lang at syempre kasama si Secretary Bongo.
Sa
naglalakad.
special assistant to the president
Ayan,
na
at-
parating nasa tabi, kasama parating nating mahal na Pangulo.
So dadaan sa South Wing yan. Sa
Yes.
gilid ng South Wing ay dumadaan ang Pangulong Duterte. It will take about 2 to 3 minutes.
Bago makarating sa entrance ng session hall.
At ito na, malapit na yan dun sa lobby, sa main lobby ng Kongreso.
Masdan mo ang paligid, alamat mga krimen.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Republic of the Philippines, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Part of the Senate, the joint session of the Philippine National Anthem to be led by Ms. Bayang Barrios.
Bayang magiliw, perlas ng silanganan, alab ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay at awit sa paglayang minamahal, ang kislap ng watawat, tagumpay na nagniningning, lupa ng araw ng luwal, hatid pagsinta. Kaya na pag may mang-aapi ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Please remain standing for the nation's prayer.
Panalangin ng sambayanang Pilipino. Mapagmahal at makapangyarihang Ama, Ikaw ang pinagmumulan ng lakas, liwanag at karunungan. Ikaw ang dakilang Amang karapat-dapat sa lahat ng aming parangal, papuri at paglingap. Hinihiling namin na bigyan ninyo kami ng habag at pangunawa sa aming mga pagkukulang at pagpapabaya, dahil batid namin na hindi kami karapat-dapat sa iyong pagmamahal.
Panginoon, lubos kaming nagpapasalamat sa lahat ng biyaya na ibinigay ninyo sa amin at sa lakas na ipinagkakaloob ninyo upang malampasan namin ang lahat ng mga pagsubok. Naway ang bawat pagpapala na ibinibigay ninyo sa amin ay gamitin para sa kabutihan namin at ng aming kapwa, at higit sa lahat para sa inyong kapurihan.
Aming kahilingan. Tulungan ninyo ang aming Pangulo, si Rodrigo Roa Duterte, at ang pangalawang Pangulo, si Maria Leonor Robredo, upang sila ay patnubayan ng banal na espiritu sa bawat hakbang na kanilang tatahakin. Gabayan ninyo ang lahat ng mga pinuno at naglilingkod sa pamahalaan upang ang mga puso nila ay magkaroon ng kababaan ng loob at sila ay matutong magmalasakit para sa mga dukha at nasa laylayan ng lipunan.
O Allah na makapangyarihan at mahabagin, naway lahat ng lingkod ng bayan ay matuto na mamuhay ng payak, maging bukas palad at magtaglay ng katatagan ng loob. Dalangin namin ng pagmamahal para sa bayan at pagsasakripisyo ay mamayani higit sa sariling adhikain, habang ang laban sa karahasan na nagaganap, naway ang mga tagapangasiwa ng ating batas ay mapangalagaan at mabigyan ng proteksyon.
Kalingain mo kami mapagmahal
upang ang pagkakaisa ay maghari sa kabila ng aming magkakaibang paniniwala.
Naway at lubos na pagpalain ninyo ang bayang Pilipinas ayon sa inyong kagustuhan. Idinadalangin namin, Panginoon, na maghilom ang aming bayan at ang kapayapaan at kaunlaran ay mamayani, ngayon at magpakailanman. Amen.
Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, honorable members of Congress of the Philippines, the President of the Republic of the Philippines, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Kindly sit down. Thank you. Allow me a little bit of informality at the outset. You would realize that the three guys in the elevated portion of Congress are from Mindanao. So wala na talaga kaming masabi. Senate President Aquilino Pimentel III, members of the Senate, Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez, and the members of the House of Representatives, Vice President Maria Leonor Robredo, President Fidel V. Ramos, President Joseph Estrada, Nuncio, and members of the Diplomatic Corps. We cannot, well, of course, I have also to greet the Executive Secretary, Salvador Medjaldia, the members of the Cabinet, fellow workers in government, my countrymen. We cannot move forward if we allow the past to pull us back. We are concerned with, and the future that we should be prepared for. Lest I be misunderstood, let me say clearly that those who betrayed the people's trust shall not go unpunished, and they will have their day in court. And if the evidence warrants the presidency of this republic, I knew what the ills of our country were. I knew their causes, and I was briefed on those who caused the causes. I heard the people on the streets complain that justice had become illusory, that equity and fairness and speedy disposition of cases had deteriorated into hollow concepts fit only for muscular dissertations. It was and still is very sad indeed. As a former prosecutor, I know there are always ways of knowing how fast or how slow cases go. What I did was to look into the number of postponements and the time difference between each postponement and the next setting. It was deeply do your job, and you will have the unwavering support of the office of the President. Will have become worse than criminality. We have to strengthen our coordination with Indonesia, disaster response, maritime security, and counter-terrorism. We shall deepen security dialogues with other nations to build greater understanding and cooperation. With regard to the West Philippine Sea, otherwise known as China Sea, we strongly affirm and respect the outcome of the case before the Permanent Court of Arbitration as an important contribution to the ongoing efforts to pursue a peaceful resolution and management of dispute. On the aspect of our peace processes relating to our engagement with the international community, the Philippines shall remain committed to work under international and with industrial partners, achieving lasting peace and progress in the country. We will vigorously address the grievances that have been time and again. Enduring peace can only be attained only if we meet these fundamental needs of every man. To our Muslim brothers, the Moro country, and the members of the CPP, NPA, NDF, let me say this. All of us want peace. Not the peace of the dead, but the peace of the living. We express our willingness and readiness to go to the negotiating table. And yet, we load our guns, fix our sights, pull the trigger. It is both ironic and tragic. And the orphans, and I feel their pain and grief, and no amount of cash assistance or the number of medals can compensate the loss of a human life. Sorrow cuts across every stratum of society. It cuts deeply, and the pain lasts forever. That is why I reach out to you, to all of you today, to our Muslim brothers. Let us end the centuries of mistrust and warfare. To the CPP, NPNDF, stop NDF effective immediately. Then in God's name, let us not hate each other too much. So it was said. I say the same to you today. That contain current macroeconomic policies and even do better. We will achieve this through prudent fiscal and monetary solid growth, low and stable inflation, dollar reserves, and robust fiscal position, and more equitable and more efficient tax system that can foster investment and job creation. We will lower personal and corporate income tax rate. And relax the bank secrecy law. Sa mga to, investments that will generate thousands of jobs each year, jobs that are suitable for the poor and less skilled members of the workforce. Reforms to ensure competitiveness and promote ease of doing business will be mandatory. Relucting labor-intensive industries such as manufacturing, agriculture, and tourism shall be pursued. We must also invest in human capital and ensure equal access to economic opportunities. So that couples, especially the poor, will have freedom of informed choice on the number and spacing of children they can adequately care and provide for, eventually making them more productive members of the labor force. When employment is not an option, for instance, in extremely rural neighborhoods, entrepreneurship will be advocated. We shall also enhance local business environment by addressing bottlenecks in business registration and processing, in streamlining investment applications and process and integration, the services of various government offices. Government structural and expanding and improving and post-wide to optimize utilization. We shall strictly enforce fisheries laws, particularly on illegal fishing, and promote aquaculture along riverbanks and in backyards. On the other hand, we will accelerate infrastructure spending, improving national roads and bridges, and implementing I can commit today you call for a referendum, and after that, call for a presidential election, I will go. Sibat na ako. But you must have the lucky guy at the time. O de, limitahan mo lang. Ceremonial powers, power to dissolve, power to accept the resolution or whatever. Mandating you this, do that. Document. I will urge you to conduct, call for an election the following day, following week. And even if there's still 2 years, 3 years, I will go. Okay na ako. Do not worry about me. I am into that much ambition. Totoo man. Sino man nagsuporta sa inyo sa akin dito? Wala man. Not a single congressman, except for 2 provinces, governor. Yun lang. Wala akong barangay captain. Wala lahat. Pero ngayon, processing time in issuing permits and licenses shall be reduced to the barest minimum. In my city, it is always 3 days for local governments. That will bind the office of the president down to the last barangay level. 3 days. 3 days. Local government. Business permit, clearances, no follow-ups. Wag sa computer kay itong ganito na na-erase yan. Daya mong date, time, I accept the documents of Rodrigo Duterte. Then you go to your computer. You must have an actuarial projection, sir. Look at the workload. Napakabubo man naman kinima. Ilan ang workload ninyo? Tapos, bumalik ka dito August 3. 3 o'clock. Yan, 3 o'clock. Bigay mo. Even a whisper. Hiwalay-hiwalay na tayo. Marami dyan sa gallery, marami dyan, wala trabaho, nag-a-apply hanggang ngayon. Hindi naman lahat kasi mayayaman yan eh. Mga asawa ninyo ata yan. While the issuance and distribution of motor vehicle plates at point of sale or through motor vehicle dealers shall be considered. Wag na sa LTO kaya hanggang ngayon, panahon pa ni Jesucristo yung first plate nila, hanggang ngayon wala. Bayad na yun until daw sa awa ng Diyos. For the driver licenses, its effectiveness will be extended from the current 3-year period to 5 years. To reduce queuing time at ticketing stations, tickets sa mga train will be made readily available and easily accessible to the riding public kung bilihin mo yan sa malls, stalls, ipinagbibili yung tapos, alam mo, ilang beses ko na sinasabi, sa Davao, wag mong gawin. Kasi magkakaproblema tayo. He who is the cause of the cause is the cause of them all. Ikaw yung nag-umpisa. Ulitin ko, he who is the cause of the cause is the cause of them all. Kami nagtatrabaho lang. Public interest, public order. Kita mo, lesser crime. Wala na kasi magnanakaw. Wala na nag-hold up. Kasi para yan. Pera yan. I'm not saying it's Chinese. The practice of itong wholesale retail. They go for wholesale. Maski na kumita lang ng isang piso dyan sa isang kaso, okay na yan. Kasi paramihan eh. Yan ang ibig will not react on this. It's part of the deep intelligence that we have gathered. I'm forced to come in public kasi pati yung mga yung bilyonaryo. Yeah. With a total of 60 car per hour. Now, you increase the train speed from 40 to 60. Ang problema nito, yung mga railway na, di na ito kasali dyan. Huwag mo maniwala dito. 2/3 of these are mine. The other 1/3 is, correct yung grammar ko, yung ano lang nila. 60 km per hour. Problema nito, and you must agree with me, that the rails are quite aged. Most of the rails, maybe, doon pa yan sa panahon ni Marcos, Imelda. Nandiyan pa, 40 to 60 kilometers per hour. May ko, Art, sigurado ka makahold ang rail yan? Baka maputol yan, magdiretso yung train sa Cavite. To diretso sa Cavite, maglipad doon kay Tolentino. Oh, bakit may train dito sa Tagaytay? It's quite fast. Quite fast, 60 kilometers per hour, and you're pulling something that's heavy. When it really moves, mawala ng ano, it moves with the speed at a heavy thing, at a great speed. Mahirap mong sumasadsad kasi mabigat eh. And reduce headway time from 5 minutes to 3 minutes. Mahina lang tayo ng plano ni Tugati, mahina lang tayo ng 1 minute. Sa Hong Kong, 2 minutes, kanya 3 minutes. Art, ambisyoso ka. Kaya mo kayo ito. Specifically for the LRT, the operating hours shall be extended from 9:30 to 10:30 p.m. Kasi marami pa mga bata mag-uwi niyan. And to absorb more passengers, delays in the procurement of additional trains shall be addressed soonest. Now, yan ang sinasabi ko. If you want the long way, fine. Wala akong problema. Sabihin ninyo na doon ang we go the normal way if you are able to make purchases. Ang maganda nito, I have signed the executive order sa aming FUI. So, we shall also pursue rail projects in Metro Manila at the major key points and the country, including the Mindanao Rail Project. Hindi ako nagyayabang, pero totoo talaga to. Depende sa federal, but 6 years, lalabas talaga ito, I assure you, because it's going to materialize. Rail projects, the Davao Transit System, the Cebu Transit System, the North and South Luzon Railways, and the Panay Railways Project. Tama? Panay. Taga saan si ano? Panay. Panay ang bigay natin para sabihin naman Senator Delon, binakbait ka dito. Malagyan daw yung island mo ng train. May tawa pa. Binabakbait ka dito. Sumbong man yan. Tingnan mo yan. Aviation. Na itong, I will, hindi, ang style ko kasi, ganito, hindi naman ako, I'm not steeped into formalities. Itong General Aviation, alam mo kung sino tiyatamaan yan? Kayong mayayaman. Kayong may mga helicopter pati aeroplano, ilipat ko kayo. Alam mo kung Alam mo yung general aviation, yung mga Learjets, sa mga kumpanya, ilagay ko kayo sa Batanes para wala masyadong air traffic. No, I'm offering Sangli Point. Kasi kailangan ko isang runway. I can make a new runway there, sabi ng mga aviation experts. But tumbok niyan is the Merville subdivision. Maka isa pa akong runway dito sa Metro Manila. But if not, then it's going to be Clark. But on a condition that we would have a fast rail. Sabi ko kay Art, something like 1 hour of travel, sabi ko kay Tugadi, is not acceptable. Make a rail there, bago. Marami na ko pa eh. It's the vow of the day is the bullet train. Sabi, ilagay mo yan sa Filipino na driver. So toy talaga kayo doon. Utilize to Filipinos. Ito, mangyari nito. To utilize the Clark Airport, it is necessary to establish yung mga, well, you have a rail to connect. Tapos na yan, itaas mo na kayo. Gitagalog ko na. In the area of environment, the military is directed to intensify its posts against illegal logging, illegal mining. Diyan pa naman si Gina Lopez. And other destructive practices that aggravate the devastation of our natural resources. Allow. Job. You know, she is really a crusader. So, that is how I would describe her persona. Crusader. Kaya, sabi ko, tama yan. Kaya, bakit? Nandiyan ba si Ma'am Gina Lopez? Secretary Lopez? Degradation of ito na. Tapos, 2 oras naman, mukhang hindi na matapos, sabi ko, Ma'am. Ma'am, do not be offended. Totoo man, huwag kang magalit kay, it's the truth. So, mag-alas 3 na, you Rudy, this man, Bigla rin siya nagsagot ka, totoo ka? Sabi ko, hindi yung, Siya, I will ask I'll consult my family and ask the mining ako dito. If all our fishermen will have priority in its entitlements. Order to Gina is ayusin mo, Ma'am. Huwag mo namang ipitin, but they have to reduce the areas of occupation. They cannot have their cake and eat ito. Sila na yung may pera, sila na yung, this must stop. So, siya tanong siya kung sinong may-ari niyan. Simple lang. Mga general, mga mayor, governor, baka congressman. This is not personal. This is something which I feel that I must do because it is the right thing to do. To have adequate disposal facilities for Metro Manila garbage, the final closure and rehabilitation of the Carmona sanitary landfill shall be pursued, while the adoption of appropriate better managed to create the People's Broadcasting Corporation, replacing PTV4, the government-run TV station, which now aims to replicate international government broadcasting networks. Teams from these international news agencies, I'd like to mention that those interested, BBC, are set to visit the country soon to train people from government-run channels to observe. Ito ang gusto ko. Total pera naman ng tao. To observe editorial independence through innovative programs, reports and dependable for accurate and independent and enlightening news and commentary. Radyo ng Bayan will be integrated with the PBC. Broadcasters shall coordinate with the Office of the Executive Secretary and Presidential. Violence, yan ang problema. To address backlogs and law prosecutorial effectiveness and efficiency, the investigation and case management processes shall be streamlined, including those for illegal drugs and heinous crimes. To eradicate the prevalent cultures of fear and silence that they have founded our justice system, I ask Congress, you, to enact and districts shall be increased to provide Indians with more access to counsels. At this stage, I also have directed the DILG to undertake nationwide information and campaign on federal itong bayan natin. If I may just repeat, I know that you know, in 1521 or 1526, Magellan landed in Leyte. Kumari ko man ito. Damat Maria. Mindanao was already Islam by 100 years. So, ano ito? It's an imperialism thing. There's a historical injustice committed against the Moro people. We have to correct it. But it is well nigh impossible now. Kaya kayo mga kapatid kong mga Moro, alam naman ninyo, ako ay mixed. Migrant ang tatay ko ron. So, some ay mixed blood ako. Moro, pati Christian. But, you know, intindihin na lang natin ito, that we cannot return to you all yung nangkuha ng mga Amerikano is mga Pilipino, mga kapitalista. Those who exploited Mindanao with that thing, sloganeering, go to Mindanao because it is a land of promise. With the vast entry of so many people, basically coming from the Visayas, karoon tayo ng, we cannot solve it the way you want it to be. We have to understand each other, then we have to live with each other. But we'll try. Ang sinasabi ko nang babalik ako, dahil ako sa Federalism, both Ms. Suarez, Sema, and all, wala tayo, nandyan na yan eh. So I ask you, pass it minus the constitutional issues that are contentious. Bigay na natin, at when the federal system comes, isali mo na sa package together with Ms. Suarez. That is the solution for Mindanao. Nothing else. Believe me, nothing else will do. Please sleep on it, ponder on it, because that's the only way to proceed. On the clamor of our citizens for timely issuance of Philippine passports, the government shall work towards amendment of the 1996 passport law to lengthen the validity of the passports from the current. Magagawa ng batas, you're the ones who will pass the law. Even if you make it good for 30 years, okay ako. Bahala ka. Basta stretch a little bit because 5 years is just really simply on a regular basis. Matagal pa naman itong passport. Mag-apply ako ng mga 10 days. Alam mo, I'd like to call the attention of Secretary Yasay. If you go to Davao, look back doon look at the back, likod ng itong mall, malaking mall doon. Sige, pangalanan lang natin, SM. Doon, yung mga tao, nandyan sa pavement, natutulog. For the many times, nadaan ako na walang ulan. Doon yan sila. Because first come, first serve. And the only outlet there, the outlet of your department is Cotabato doon sa Davao. At yun ang unang mahirap kasi karamihan dyan mga moro naghihiga lang dyan sa pavement. Nasasaktan talaga. Masakit. Yung buong gabi magtayo hanggang magbukas yung SM kasi first come first serve. Kasabi ko, well, that is addressing to all of the cabinet members. Make use of the computer. I do not want to see people lining up under the heat of the sun. I do not want people lining up under the rain na mga grado. Alam mo, andyan naman yan. Sabi ko, what I want is si Jordan. Ito namang, kasi ang taas kasi ng entourage ng presidente sila. Dudog sa dulo, may ambulansya. Hindi na ang turak, parang cortege ng... Sa posible ko, ano man makuha mo kung patayin mo ako? What for? No, may ambulansya ko. Dagdagan mo na punerarya. I have also ordered DFA to streamline documentary requirements and passport applications and open additional consular offices in strategic places to decongest Metro Manila sites and avoid queues that have caused hardships and suffering to kasi kayo, hindi kayo marunong magbisaya. Wi-Fi access shall be provided at no charge in selected public places, including parks, plazas, public libraries, schools, government hospitals, the national portal. Yes, because it's our parang website. Ito, we shall intensify ensure that the hard-earned money of the Filipinos overseas are put into productive use, a mandatory with intensive encourage entrepreneurship among them. I may now also ask on Congress to consider drawing up bills consolidating and merging agencies and offices having to do the overseas Filipino to have a department that shall focus on and quickly respond to the problems and concerns. Kailangan mo ng isa. And I have asked, I don't know, Secretary Bello is here. Bebot. Wala. Absinero talaga yan. Kasi sa cabinet absinero yan. Gusto ko, he will will list some buildings near for overseas only. At lagyan ko na i-direct all BIR lahat na BIR lahat something to do with the clearances of the police in one building, may booth lang. I said, my God, ang Filipino document at one time. And BI clearances, doon na ninyo bigay, finish it right. Other like conditions in relocation site, we urge utilities like Meralco and electric cooperatives exercise their social corporate responsibility by making direct connections to relocation sites and depressed areas. Alam mo kung bakit? Hindi na nilagyan nila dyan eh. That's why I had to talk to you ganito. Bakit? It's because walang correct. This is my experience, 23 years as mayor. Hindi magbigay ng direct connection. Kasi hindi ko may-ari ng lupa. But that squatter there has been there for 20 years. So mag-connect sila. Pagka-connect nila, ang gamitin nila yung wire na minsan magnakaw. You know, we will have to make the adjustments. It is not for these people to make the corrections because they are not in a position to do it. We have to adjust to the needs of our people. Total yan naman yung as squatter na yan. As long as I sit there as president, there will be no demolitions without relocations. Di talaga ba? Dahil sabihin yung mga bag be at least peace. Pag hindi, wala yan. Fight na naman yan between government and the tawag nila squatters. Squatters man talaga yan. Masasaktan lang, mamatay for no reason at all. Eh kung mayaman ka, bigyan mo naman ng kunting provide a relocation, and I'd be glad to talk to the people and say, go, it is not yours. I have directed the concerned regulatory agencies to prioritize the issuance of required permits for power development. Okay yan sa akin. Ang problema, sandali na to. Para ka dyan. Yung mga environmentalist, meron tayong kasi marang yung pati yung ambassador ka tapos sabihin mo sa akin na medyo hanggang lang diyan kayo kasi kami hanggang dito lang kami. Kayo umabot dyan, you are now in the apex of your industrial might. But along the way, you were the first America, China, Europe. Kayong bumabog. Until now, we contribute only something 0.0. So if you put so much restrictions doon sa treaty na yan, the treaty which we are trying to, it's still here in the Senate. Let us be very clear on this. We need to industrialize. We need the power. And therefore, the emissions would also be considered. I just can say if I establish 5 economic zones here, and you start to say that you're spewing so much, I cannot just agree on anything. That will delay. I'm only good for 6 years. And then to do something during my term. Now, I'm sure that the heavy machineries would come in, and even the power, Gina. So we'll just talk sa yan. If it is you're using the state-of-the-art technology, and I've seen it several times in the other power plants in this country, if it is really a good one, then we will consider. I said, because we need the energy to power our industrialization. To strengthen delivery of social services, the government will intensify its protection programs so it can use its resources at poverty levels. What we want is genuinely to reduce the vulnerabilities of our people, build resiliency, and empower individuals and families and communities. The beneficiaries of Power Peace shall be made to become independent and self-reliant after they have graduated from the program. But as it is, we aim to present them with other forms of assistance so that they can stand on their own 2 feet. But now, I have decided to direct the DSWD to provide the rice subsidies to the poorest of the families, at least para makakain lang, every month. Yung sako na We are planning to increase spending on basic education and incorporate mandatory education about the evils of drugs. We will also intensify and expand alternative learning system programs. The government will also provide universal health insurance capabilities. Administration vows to protect women's rights and human rights abuses against our women because it is unacceptable to me. Bugbog ka ng babae. As I order all agencies and oversight bodies and local government units down to the barangay level to fully implement the Magna Carta for women. By doing so, we will ensure that man and woman will be partners in the pursuit of country's economic, social, and cultural and political developments. To our Lumad brothers, and they are here outside, maybe outside. I mean, they're outside, I'm sure. I told the secretary just to let them come. They want, kanila man to. To our brothers, I have this to say. The government has issued you the ancestral certificates to win. Title, covering vast tracts of land, especially in the island of Mindanao. You have the Indigenous Peoples' Rights Act and the National Commission of Indigenous Peoples to protect you and to assist you. Government has given you the tool, the legal tool to improve yourself financially, financial and economic progress for you. It is you and you alone who can do that. You can chart your loved ones as well as our minds. We cannot wash away the stench of rotting flesh from our noses, and there are many of us who are still waiting for the help that was promised. The enormity of the problem of drug addiction has been made manifest by the number of surrenderies which grows by the 100 each day that passes. Since July 1, we have already made 3,600 related drug arrests. 120 drug dependent pushers. You think this is just a it would take the entire resources of this government to fight this war. I have nothing but the interest of my country. But in its wake, because the PDEA says that was a statement made by the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency. 2 years ago, PDEA came out with a statement that there are 3 million drug addicts in this country. That was 2 or 3 years ago. How do you think would be the number incrementally if we count now? Give it a liberal addition, maybe, lagyan mo na 7,000. So 3,700,000. The number is quite staggering and scary. The drug lords that you desperately want to strangle are not here. Wala mga bilyonaryo dito. The ones that tinatapo nila yung bulto by the drums. Dikitan nila ng GPS. So makikita ka. We are hard put sa intelligence because they've invented this direct satellite. Hindi na magdadaan niya ng... All they have to do is to triangulate where the pag-ikot niya. And there are so many... And they're in codes. With me, will drown us as a republic. Kayo, tingnan niyo po. How can I solve the problem now by arresting? Hinahanap ko, tagal na akong presidente. Gusto kong patayin. Ang problema, pupunta pa ako doon, then I'll ask the permission from this country that I will go on because I have to slaughter these idiots who are destroying my country. Ganon yun eh. Hindi lang kasi naintindihan, ayaw pa naman bitawan kasi ayaw naman kasi ng military pati police. But I said, I'll be talking in front of the Republic to its representatives, to the people. So I have to tell you, how do we solve this problem? Tell me. Ako naman okay lang eh. Make it public, fine. Make it confidential. If you go to me or go to you, to your house, okay. Kung may isa ditong hinulog sa dagat, marami naman nagluluto doon. It's a free for all the enterprise for the criminals at this time. Kung ako, if I had just... Yan ang problema. But we should not despair. Like someone wrote, it is when the night is darkness that dawn breaks. We are imbued with resiliency that has been tested and proven. Filipino, that
On the part of the Senate, the joint session is adjourned.
On the part of the House of Representatives, the joint session is adjourned.
Hello, yeah. Narinig ko.
Sir, storya naman yan.
Conclusion of State of the Nation address, Kath.
Yes, inaasahan po na magiging
niyang
spontaneous.
medyo na ibang sonang
Part of it is centered on
mga sona ng mga nakaraang pangulo.
Oo, ito ay isa sa mga pagbabago na isinagawa no pagdating sa mga protocol sa
Thank you so much, Kathy and Bong. Kasama pa rin natin si PNP Chief General Bato. Ron, General, siyempre nandun yung pag-intensify ng PNP.
Ano ulit, tuloy-tuloy foreign counterparts para ma-interdict natin yung kanilang mga shipment coming into the Philippine territory.
Sabi din ni Pangulo,
lalo na yung mga drug lords na dito ngayon sa Pilipinas, talagang uupakan natin.
last question, more surrenderies, talagang madugo to, sir.
The more, kasi nakikita kasi ng mga tao, the more na maraming namamatay, no? The more sila nag-surrender. So,
ang ng tao. At sinabi rin niya na bagamat nire-respeto niya yung separation ng government state, isa pa rin pagkakataon ay narinig ko na rin ang sinasabi niyang pagkakaroon ng unilateral ceasefire sa pagitan ng pamahalaan nga. At kaya umaasa siya na gagawin din ito ng National Democratic Front at ng CPP-NPA. Marami pa rin siyang ibinahagi dito. Sinabi niya yung laban sa climate change, kailangan daw ay magkaroon ng maayos na sistema para nga dun sa global warming dahil ang isinasaalang-alang dito ay yung kapakanan at kaligtasan. Magandang sinabi ni Pangulong Duterte. Siyempre, Cathy, Bong, bahagi tayo nito na sinabi niya na magkaroon sana ng batas para mas lalo tiba ni Pangulong Duterte dito sa sinasabi niya na ayaw niya na magkakaroon ng maraming pila dun sa mga government agencies na kung saan nga ay maraming dokumento at tumatagal pa ng matagal na araw, buwan o panahon bago pa makuha yung kailangang dokumento. At mahigpit din ang babala ni Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte sa lahat na 888 4 na 8, ito yung magiging sumbungan ng bayan, kaya sinasabi niya sa kanyang mga miyembro ng gabinete, gawin ang inyong trabaho. Katulad ng inaasahan, isinulong niya yung federal system. Sinabi niya, kailangan lang daw wag maging poor yung magiging sistema nito. At sa kauna-ungan rin pagkakataon, ay nakita rin natin sa pambihirang pagkakataon na Cathy and Bong, nagkatabi nga dati na si Chief Justice Congreso at sinabi nga ito sa paglaban.
Pasan yung gutom na nararanasan ng
Kada buwan,
mga
yes.
kababayan.
Oo. At kasama na rin doon yung pag-reinforce din ng ating reserve officers training course for youth building in times na maka-call upon kaya kailangan
Samang si Veronica Baluyot Jimenez at alamin naman natin ang pinakahuling pangyayari doon, Nikki.
Salamat at kanina nga binanggit ng Pangulo itong unilateral ceasefire with the CPP and the NPA-NDF. No? It will be instituted immediately. Isa yan dito sa pinaka-makabagdamdamin na sinabi ng Pangulo dahil nag-appeal siya na let's not hate each other too much. At ang goal niya is permanent and lasting peace before his term ends. At ngayon kasama natin dito ang ambassador natin to Papua New Guinea, Ambassador Bien Tejano. Magandang hapon po.
Magandang hapon, Nikki. Magandang hapon, Nikki.
Ano po yung reaksyon nyo doon sa mga sinabi ng Pangulo sa kanyang SONA?
I have seen the President seriously talking to the people of this country. And he really means it. I felt they went direct, specific points to discuss about his concern for this country. I like his message. Wonderful.
Ano po yung pinaka naging damdamin para sa inyo o yung talagang kumitil sa inyong puso dito sa lahat ng mga sinabi niya?
Yung kanyang gustong pagkakaisa, yung unity.
Ambassador Tejano, at marami tayong Pilipinong kababayan nanonood ngayon from Papua New Guinea.
There are about 34,000 Filipinos that are watching this program now in Papua New Guinea.
At nakakuha na ba kayo ng text message o reaction? On his way, papalabas na po doon sa session hall sa SONA ng ating Pangulo. Well, Senator Edgardo Angara, we see him passing here also. At yung iba pa pong mga panauhin na mga kongresista are also going here. Yung mga member ng diplomatic corps are expected to attend dito pagkatapos po ng power
community pag isa pa maya. Paibalik niya yung